If you hold Ripple's XRP, it is virtually over for the traditional financial system for the banks. In this video, we're talking about what Larry Fink over at Blackrock has to say and how he just completely flipped the entire financial space upside down. We're also talking about ISO standard and what's going to be happening by March of 2025 that you need to be ready for. We're going to be discussing what just took place for USDT and how this is going to impact the stablecoin market and the rest of the crypto market and every single altcoin all around the world. We're also touching on what's taking place right now with the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit and the SEC's next move that virtually nobody expected, and also what you can do to prepare to make the most amount of money possible the rest of this bull run. So right now we're out here in beautiful Portugal, and today we went on a Jeep tour all across the island. And if you've never been to Portugal, you definitely got to get out here. That's one blessing of investing in crypto, guys. I've been investing in crypto since 2017 during that bull run. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, but the benefit of being able to capitalize is immense from a freedom perspective, because it's not about the money, it's about the freedom. And that's what crypto is doing for a lot of people around the globe. So if you're brand new to the channel, welcome. My name's Nick. We help people make money in crypto on here. So if you like money, if you like crypto, then comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, comment 777 if you're feeling bullish, and if you believe that you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, all you got to do is confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it.
The IMF and the World Bank were created 80 years ago when banks, not markets, financed most things. Today, the financial world is flipped. The capital markets are the biggest source of private sector financing, and unlocking that money requires a different approach than the bank balance sheet model of yesterday. There's still a lot of work to be done, but reform over the past 8 months have resulted in billions of new dollars for the developing countries' infrastructure. That's what you saw last week with the announcement of the Investor Coalition. BlackRock, GIP, KKR, and other major firms will deploy $25 billion in Asia's emerging economies. In a way, it's an Indo-Pacific counterpoint to Italy's Mattei plan, which is helping African economies grow, and that's important. Every country in the world needs a growth strategy. But if I could convey one more important message today, it would be the countries that need growth most right now are not just emerging economies. Great economic powers, including the G7, are in fact on the list and need growth going forward. All of us are staring down a growth dilemma. Whether we solve it or not, it's a significant economic fork in the road for our countries. Today, the G7 average debt to GDP is 129%. No matter how much we tax, how much we cut or reduce that debt, it will not be enough. The only way we can achieve this future of growth is by truly growing out of it. But just growth is becoming more important because we need to be focusing on our fiscal health. It is also becoming much more difficult to achieve. Within 25 years, most of the G7 countries will be on demographic downslope. Working age population will decline. The ceiling on growth will get lower and lower. This is why building new infrastructure is critical, especially through public-private partnerships.
So as BlackRock makes massive investments in both public and private companies, Larry Fink has gone all in on Bitcoin. He's gone all in on crypto, getting the Bitcoin spot ETF approved with the SEC, and then other companies getting it approved. And now with him diving into Ethereum and other altcoin ETFs, it is primed to send the altcoin market absolutely parabolic. Now, it's normal to have 20, 30%, sometimes 40 or even up to 50% corrections during a bull market. It's completely healthy. And when we look at what's healthy, well, the companies in the United States that are expanding right now, one of which being Coinbase, also offering custody services for BlackRock's Bitcoin holdings in the iShares Bitcoin Trust, the world's largest asset manager spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund. Guys, look at what Coinbase is doing now. They are getting ready to onboard millions and millions of users the rest of this bull run. So a lot of people are missing the beat because they're just looking at the value of their crypto portfolio right now during this healthy correction, and they're not looking on the macro fundamental news that is taking place, such as this.
Every month, I have the same problem. Sending money to my grandmother in Mexico. but it feels as if I'm sending it to the moon. Let me explain. This is my grandma Yuya, Yuyi or La Yuyis, and as my mom would say,
Tú heredaste el talento de la Yuyis.
and I don't deny it, La Yuyis knits, paints, embroiders, cooks deliciously, and runs. But there's a small inconvenience. Yuya lives far away, 2,555 miles away, in Puebla, Mexico. That's 41 hours by car, 3 days by bus, 255 hours by bike, 953 hours walking, and if there were a direct flight from New York, 6 hours by plane. Because of this, I don't see her as often as I would like. And when trying to transfer money from the United States, I basically have two options. The first is to go to a bank, where they take a fee and up to 5 days to arrive. Then Yuyi goes to the bank and they take another fee. Slow and expensive. No thank you. For the second one, I get a flight, back, wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the airport. Go through security, watch a movie on the flight, some turbulence, and land. Then wait for the luggage. Look for buses from Mexico to Puebla. Take it. Then a final taxi to my grandmother's house, and finally, give her the money. Believe it or not, this is faster than a wire transfer, but way more expensive. And ultimately, I can do this every month. What I didn't tell you is that there is a third way: crypto. With Coinbase Wallet, sending USDC is as quick as sending a text, and it's completely free. If it only came with Yuyi's cooking.
So according to Coinbase, 1 in 8 Americans sent money abroad last year. Why? To help their families with daily living expenses. And not even just considering, the United States or Americans, countries in the Asian Pacific region, with Larry Fink just saying they invested, what was it, like 25 million or $1 billion, however much they invested out there. They're sending money back to their family members over in other countries, over in the Philippines, over in Taiwan, over in Thailand, to be able to help them out with bills. But there's two problems aside from this. Number one, fees are too high. It's $6 for every $100. And you look at wire transfer fees, ACH transfer fees, PayPal fees, to pay some video editors to make these videos, more dynamic for you guys, so it's more entertaining for you. Well, I pay for a lot of different editors to do this content, and PayPal takes a 3% fee, credit card processing companies take a fee, banks take fees if I were to do any wire transfers. Going on Fiverr or Upwork, they take like a 20% fee out of the cut of the contractor. So these middlemen, they're taking all these cuts and making all this money off of it. They're gonna be cut out, and companies like Ripple that are launching their AMM, their automated market maker, that are allowing for everyday people to provide liquidity to the markets, for allowing everyday people to send money back and forth for a fraction of a penny. Well, this is also what Coinbase is striving to do, because wait times are too long, literally days. And if you send money on a Friday, on Saturday and Sunday, the banks are closed. What are they doing on a Saturday and Sunday? Well, they're taking your money and they're investing it elsewhere. Now, that doesn't mean that everything's going to be peachy keen in the crypto market, because it's a war. It's a financial war that's happening right now. It's a global financial war. It's not just happening between, the banks and crypto right now. It's happening between countries, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, the United States, the G7, and the battle for this global reserve currency status, because the United States dollar is currently and still the global reserve currency, and it's not gonna go away overnight. When I say that it's over time, and you want your country's currency to be powerful and you want it to be around for a long period of time. But when you have central banks, or you have the Federal Reserve in the United States case, printing an unlimited amount of money, then that can never end well, because the collapse of a civilization comes from the collapse of a currency. Because when you watch videos about Michael Saylor talking about what happens if the currency collapses, well, then when you lose all barter and trade negotiation, because if I have like sheep now, or you have meat, how many sheep is equivalent to how much meat? So the barter and trade system needs to be pegged to something, and so they're gonna have to peg the global reserve currency moving forward in the future to something that's actually tangible. Because the moment that the dollar went off the gold standard, then it became the petrodollar, after 1971, when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, and then it was on oil. Well, now just recently, the contract expired with the United States for trade in oil, and they're making deals with China, they're making deals with Russia, and moving forward, with the BRICS nations. And so the US dollar is being cut out quickly. And so when I say it's not going to be peachy keen in the crypto world, it's a war on crypto as well too. You know, a company that has been around for a long period of time, and they created a stablecoin called USDT. Well, that's Tether. And so in their white paper, Tether Limited could go bankrupt, and this could cause a massive shockwave in the crypto space that you need to be ready for. And this could be a big black swan event, but also this opens up the opportunity and creates this, you know, rainbow and this gap in the clouds, so to speak, on the other side of the mountain, or you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, because Tether's white paper openly tells us about possible scenarios such as bankruptcy, insolvency, and in quote, we could abscond with the reserve assets. And if you look up the definition of abscond, it means to leave hurriedly and secretly, typically to avoid detection or arrest, often with someone's belongings. They put that in their freaking white paper. So it implies that there's a possibility of the reserve assets being taken away secretly and unlawfully. And they're always going to leave the truth in plain sight, just like they did with FTX. And if, or in this case, when Tether collapses, it will make the FTX look like a walk in the park. And so that could be the shakeout event and the buying opportunity that everyone needs. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you to put any money into any project. I do bring the news. That's why these videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. And crypto is very, very risky. You could lose all of your money in these markets. In fact, most people lose money because they just lack patience and they don't subscribe to the channel, they don't watch these videos, and they don't heed these warnings. Because if Tether collapses, guys, it's the biggest stablecoin paired to these other currencies. But what's going to fill that gap? What's going to be the hole in the clouds, or the rainbow, or the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak? Well, it's what they're planning on doing for the ISO standard. It's what they're planning on doing for, you know, Ripple stablecoin, coming in and getting regulatory clarity with the SEC lawsuit coming to an end. So right here, this was posted, FedWire, the Federal Reserve. Are you ready for ISO 222, March 10th, 2025? Right, it went live in 2023, but by March Madness, get ready for this, 2025, guys, and this standard is going to include a few key companies. Now, this is all connected together because you guys saw what happened with Binance and CZ stepping down. They needed to take him out in order to have, you know, a CEO that's more regulatory compliant, that will do whatever the elite want so they can take control over crypto. And FTX went under so they can have more control over, you know, crypto in these exchanges. And so when you look at Tether, you know, they need to take out Tether to put in other stable coins in place to have a full grasp on the industry, because stable coins are paired to the largest altcoins and to Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's largest trading pair is USDT. Ethereum's largest trading pair is against USDT. It's not against the US dollar, it's against USDT. So as a result, you know, USDC, the United States dollar stable coin, reputation for reliability and compliance, could take a significant shift and absorb a massive amount of liquidity from Tether. Now, Circle is the company behind USDC, and their competitive advantage lies in its commitment to transparency and regulatory compliance, because Tether will not be covered under MiCA's regulations. And over in the European Union, they're going to be getting rid of it. And so what's going to take the place? It's most likely in the start going to be USDC, and then as Ripple launches their stablecoin later this year, you know, then leading into March 10th, Ripple is going to come into the market and absolutely absorb a large chunk of that liquidity from Tether and USDC as well too. Now, that's my opinion. I could be wrong there, but when we look at Ripple's connections to BRICS, a new global digital payment platform, BRICS, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and Saudi Arabia alliance, is a digital payments platform being developed by member countries of the BRICS. And BRICS aims to enable digital payments to an additional 3 billion users between the different countries in BRICS. And so Ripple's connections are with SBI, HSBC, Onafric, MFS Africa, Banco Brazil. And the real question that people have is, will Ripple and XRP specifically play a role in the new BRICS payment system? Because when you look at these banks, you know, in each of these countries, and the partnerships that Ripple has with these banks in these countries, and what they're striving to do, with Brad Garlinghouse confirming verbally that they're directly working with 10 central banks around the world, that tells you that Ripple is planning stuff with them in closed door meetings. And the former SEC division chief, Christy Littman, said on May 23rd of this year that the SEC might not appeal the Ripple case.
I'll say on the Ripple appeal point, I'll be curious to see whether the parties appeal there. I think there's some speculation that because Judge Rakoff in the Terra opinion explicitly disagreed with Judge Torres's logic from the Ripple opinion, and then Coinbase doesn't really address the Ripple opinion as much, but almost, you know, pretty explicitly adopts the Terra logic. I think there's some speculation that the SEC might just let the Ripple opinion stay there as a district court opinion and not risk, elevating it to a circuit level where they could potentially elicit bad law when they have otherwise favorable rulings in the aftermath of the Ripple litigation. So it'll be interesting to watch after the remedies phase concludes whether either party opts to appeal that.
Also, when we look at this, David Schwartz testifies in the SEC versus Ripple case, saying that Satoshi Nakamoto, who was the original creator, held an enormous amount of XRP back in 2017. And when we look at this document here on the BRICS Journal of Economics, this was from 2020 about the de-dollarization, and they mentioned XRP multiple times. So guys, this has been in the works for years, and all of these documents are mentioning Ripple, they're mentioning XRP. Now sure, there could be a rare scenario where they don't go with it and they do something completely different, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I could care less what the price action on the chart shows right now because I know what I hold. And the price has been relatively stable. Sure, it's not shot up like 200, 300, 400% because there's obviously price suppression, so they can allow these central bankers through non-disclosure agreements to load up at a low price before it absolutely skyrockets when after ISO goes live March of 2025. That's why I keep saying 2025 is the year, but you need to prepare all year long. 2024 is the year to prepare. Every single day, you need to make as much money as possible on the front end so you can back up the truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind, because we believe that the spending power of the dollar is going to keep going down in value. And that's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com, and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it.